dechlorinating 5 gallons of water, actually 3 buckets each, 5 gallons of water, because I am going to be cleaning out my bog filter today. Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we are going to be dismantling my goldfish bog filter on my patio pond and moving it into my indoor pond where I have my koi and goldfish growing out over winter so they can stay warm over winter and grow nice and big, so I can place them into my new goldfish koi pond that I'm digging out in the landscape. So the first thing we need to do is take all the fish out, and I already did that because we've been having some cold nights and I wanted to save the fish as early as I can without taking apart the whole water feature to do so. So I went ahead and scooped them all out, and I already acclimated them and put them into their new pond inside, and they're doing great. Now we have to come in here and dismantle the filter. You can see the pond's been running beautifully for over 2 months now. Nice and clear water, no big algae blooms or anything, never got string algae in here. I had this nice elephant ear plant just sucking up nutrients all the time. You can see how big the roots got, but it's been working out very well. And this citronella plant here, it's hiding the bamboo stick. So this bamboo stick is just the overflow pipe from my bucket bog filter over here. So if you'd like to see how this works, I did make a video on making this and I showed all the components on the inside, but we'll get to there because we're going to take it apart today. So what is happening here is there's a small fountain pump down at the bottom of this clear tube, and it's pumping the water up through that clear tube into the bottom of my bucket filter, and then it upflows through multiple layers of different sized gravel and overflows back into the pond. And it's been keeping it very clean for over 2 months. You can see all the algae and everything in the bucket bog filter, which is just fine because that's stagnant water. That's what's going to happen. And a little bit of string hair algae coming right there on the overflow pipe. Oops. But none of it on the inside. So my filter's working pretty good. I threw a couple iris plugs in here, some volunteer irises I had, just to help suck some nutrients out, and they definitely have been growing. So my plan is, well, what I have in here is 2 bags of pea gravel and a bigger bag of river rock underneath. So I have 3 buckets here of dechlorinated water because I don't want to kill my beneficial bacteria that's on this bucket bog filter already, all colonized in the stone. So I'm going to take out each bag, rinse them real good in the water, take out everything, clean it in some dechlorinated water so I don't kill off the beneficial bacteria, and then put it all back together down on the indoor pond. But first, bring in so you can see I got it wedged in there pretty good. I want all the water to flow through the stone and not around the stone. There we go. First one. Oh yeah, it definitely picked up some debris. That's perfect. Get that all cleaned off in there. The next one, a lot of string algae on this one. Oh, and the iris roots got sucked into this one. Oh yeah. These iris roots probably connected the 2 bags together. Yeah, I might have to cut them. I'm trying to just rip them. These are strong roots. Yeah, there, look. They're probably that'll probably grow a new iris. That's got enough roots in there. Take out my second bag, throw it in here. You can see in the white bucket more of that brown dirt and detritus and debris coming out of it, which is exactly what it was made to do. Perfect. I'll pull these irises out now. They seem to be doing what they were supposed to do, which was reach their roots in there and suck out all the nutrients. And they definitely did. Yep, the roots can hold that whole bag of river stone. Look at that. Boom. Oh, geez, I didn't even notice. Look at all those roots. Holy heck. I'm gonna have to do some work on this bag because that iris was happy. Just get rid of that. You can see looking down in here, we got some dirty water and more iris roots. So you definitely want to plant out your bog filter. They love it. You're fertilizing your plant, keeping it watered 100% of the time. I'm going to take these stones out. Just drop them in the bucket for now because I'll probably reuse these same exact stone to rebuild this in my fish room. So I have that clear pipe running straight down into this orchid pot. See, dumping out in this pot, and this was sitting flat on the bucket. So all the water was forced to swirl around in here and then find its way out of these holes. So that was the thought process. I don't want to break that. We're gonna need that again. It is cracked a little bit, but no big deal. More iris roots. And there's just some sediment on the bottom there. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That filter worked out really well for a 5-gallon bucket filter on a 20-gallon pond. Just beautiful. I gotta work these irises out because that's just crazy. Those irises really got in there. So I'm gonna reuse all these just the way they are. And yeah, we're good. But yeah, that's 2 months of operation. It was still running really clear water and the fish were still healthy. I did lose one fish, but I think honestly that was probably from my dogs drinking in the pond here, and I think it scared it to death really, because the other 5 are fine, just lost one of the 6. This worked out really well, so I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild this. I'm gonna clean that bucket out a little bit because there is some algae and stuff in there, so I'll clean it out, just rinse it. Not gonna use chlorine or any type of disinfectant, just regular water, dechlorinated. So I'll get this cleaned out and then we'll reassemble it on the new indoor pond. One thing I might change is putting this little pump for the bog filter in something, then just so it doesn't get clogged up as easy, because you can see it just has that little intake here and definitely can clog up pretty easy. So I'll figure out something to put this inside so it can pre-filter before sucking into the pump. It still worked out for first try, and I'm doing this mini bog filter because I am working on a big pond over there for the full landscape for koi pond and goldfish outside, and I wanted to test it on a smaller scale first, and it worked out beautifully. I think I got everything I need. That small change I was making with the fountain pump, you can see it down in there. That is the pump I'm using, and I filled it up with some pea gravel so I can have a little bit of pre-filter, and maybe my fountain pump won't get clogged up, because that was pretty much the only problem I had with my pond out there. So that's definitely going to help that situation. Now I need my barrel to flow down, overflow into the pond, so it has to be higher than that lip. So those 2 brick are going to work just perfect. I just want to maybe put a washer or 2 underneath somewhere to take that wobble out of it. I got the bucket put back together, all the gravel's inside, and I put in a new black hose instead of that clear one, since you could see all the dirt and grime on the clear hose. You can see it runs right into that little 4-inch planter box I have, planter container, and I filled that up with pea gravel over top of my fountain pump. So all the water that's going to go through the fountain pump is going to have to get sucked down in through all that gravel, and it should keep my fountain pump from clogging up. That runs up and into the bottom of the bucket where it would be deposited into that orchid pot, and then upflow through the larger gravel, the big river stone, the larger river gravel, and then finally the pea gravel, and overflow back down through the bamboo chute into the pond. That is the system. And you can see my little orange goldfishies in there, all happy and healthy. Plus my shabunkins, guppies, and some other goldfish. As well as there is one butterfly koi in there. What I need to do now is get this duck seal, which is just a weather protectant for electrical boxes, usually used outside. But I am going to use mine inside and get this little hole for the bamboo chute all watertight. Now I went ahead and used some aquarium silicone to slop it all in around that bamboo chute so I don't have any leaking problems inside. I need to let that aquarium silicone cure before I can run water through it. I don't want any leaks on this thing, so we are going to have to wait 24 to 48 hours, and then I'm going to fire this baby up. The silicone is now dry around my bamboo stick, so I just plugged in the pump and now it is filling up my bog filter over there. So once that fills up, it should start overflowing back into my mini pond, and while that's happening I am going to get this dechlorinated water into the pond because all the water is going to stay in that bucket, so I'm actually going to be draining whatever water it takes to fill that bucket before it starts overflowing. So I want to add some water to keep the level of the pond the same. So we'll just wait until the bucket overflows. So while that's filling up, I have my vacuum pump here, and I'm going to be slowly adding water as I'm slowly taking water out. It is taking some time to fill up. Hard to tell if water's even running in there. Okay, I had it plugged in, but the timer strip wasn't turned on. I can hear it filling up with water now. So it's definitely running now. I just didn't have it running before. But yeah, I have it sucking through my little intake bay right there. Pretty soon we'll see it overflow. Alright, I can see the water coming up now. As it'll overflow right down into the pond. You'll see it balance out with the amount of water being pumped into the bucket. And hopefully the rim of the bucket doesn't overflow. I got a leak, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, I think we're all fixed up now. I didn't quite get enough silicone on the back bottom side, but I fixed that with some duck seal and it's not leaking. So we got some flow and bubbles, some more aeration, some more current for the goldfish and koi to swim against. So this is gonna work out. One thing I do need to do is put a T-valve, T-fitting right about here, so whenever the pump shuts off, it doesn't back siphon all the water back into the mini pond and overflow the mini pond, because that will happen. So yeah, I need to put a little 1/2-inch T-valve in there so it can suck some air whenever it shuts off and break the siphon. But there we go, we have the bucket bog filter up and running on the indoor mini pond now for the goldfish and koi to grow out. Before I put them out into the big pond, I'm digging outside. So go ahead and check out the videos of the DIY construction of the mini pond outside. Check out the videos of the construction of the koi pond going on outside as we get that thing put together, hopefully before the ground freezes. And let me know if you want to see a fish update video of all my tanks, and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.